Boston's Emerald Necklace, where we find rest, relaxation, and recreation. Where we discover community as we share experiences with those closest to us. Where we seek a moment of tranquility among calm waters, towering trees, and winding trails. The Emerald Necklace. These are your parks. These are your stories.
My name is Roger Gottlieb. I've been living next to the pond for 36 years. Moved into this area not even knowing that this was here. We just managed to find a large apartment with 6 bedrooms, so we moved our commune from Cambridge, where the rents had gotten too high, to this strange, mysterious southern part of Boston called Jamaica Pond. Well, it wasn't too soon afterwards that we went down the end of the street, crossed the Jamaica Way, went down the little path, and found this.
I'm going down that long lonesome road. I'm going down that long lonesome road. I'm going down that long lonesome road, Lord, Lord. Ain't gonna be treated this way. No, I ain't gonna be treated this way.
Basically, I have to say this place saved my life. There's been a good deal of illness and tragedy in my family life, health issues, enormous levels of emotional stress. When I come out here, I feel like I'm connected to something larger than myself. I feel that each one of the beings here, each tree, each seagull, each cormorant diving for fish, each goose taking flight and then landing with that strange, balanced landing. Each time the clouds are a little different. The moon over the water, different times of the year, the sun reflecting at different times. There's something welcoming, there's something peaceful, there's something of enormous beauty. I've been out here at dawn in the winter when there's not a leaf, there's nothing to move, the pond is completely frozen. But out here in the heat of the day, don't tell anybody, but years ago I used to run and then go swimming in there in the early evening. It's very cold, and even though some broken glass by the shoreline, the water clear and cold. For 36 years I've been doing that. I haven't gotten bored yet. It always is something that touches my soul a little bit. I think I've grown intellectually. My day job is as a professor of philosophy, and over these years I've developed a concentration in environmental theory and religious environmentalism, spirituality and the politics of the environmental movement. And this place also is something special in that regard. This is not a wilderness. This is not the mountains of Alaska or the rainforest in some corner of Ecuador. What this is a place where trees and birds and fish and turtles and human beings coexist. A place where people walk around and they care about what they're walking around. A place where people come for solace and they find the solace. And there's something truly remarkable about that. We're not going to save nature in this world by saving places that are totally isolated. There are too many people, and the technology takes us everywhere. We're going to save nature because we live with it, and we live with it respectfully and caringly. I think here's an example of that here. I can tell you a story about that. Many years ago, the hills that border the west side of the park over there, wooded hills. Now, you can come out to this park, and if you sit or stand or walk on that side where the boathouse is, you can watch the sun set over woods within the city of Boston. That's remarkable. You see a lake, you see wooded hills, you see the sky. Well, those hillsides have been sold to a developer, and the developer wanted to make some condos, knock down the trees, give people condos with a splendid view of the pond. Wouldn't that be nice? Word got out to the community. It was wintertime, cold, people kind of hunkered down in their apartments and their cars because of the lousy weather of February in Boston. Well, when word got around that this was something that was going to happen, people got tremendously excited. There was a local social worker who spearheaded a community meeting, and people from the state and the city, the zoning boards, the environmental impact, all these kinds of people, they came. It was the coldest night of the year, like 12 degrees or something. And we met in the basement of a local church. And these were not particularly religious people. We didn't use the church because we were Christians. It was a community meeting. There were, I don't know, at least 200 people there, angry, upset, concerned, talking, sharing their experience with each other. And one by one, people would approach the microphone. They would go up to the microphone and they would say what they had to say. People, it turned out, even I didn't know this, people would come from 10, 15, 20 miles away from the suburbs, the beautiful, quiet, rich suburbs, would come into Boston just to walk around this park. People have been walking around it for years, joggers, old Chinese ladies doing Tai Chi, new parents pushing their babies, grim, overweight, middle-aged men huffing the miles away. All kinds of people use this. And they were upset that part of it might get marred, taken away, some of the experience might get left. But towards the end of the evening, I raised my hand, I went up to the mic, and I said, I'm going to use a word that's not usually used in political circles. The pond, I said, is sacred space. Sacred space. There was a dead hush in the crowd. I've been a professor and a public speaker for 35 years. I don't think in all those years I've ever stumbled on the right word so clearly. That's what people feel about it. That there's something sacred here, that can be with God or without God, or with angels or Christian or Jewish, or Muslim or Hindu or no religion at all, or the nature religion of people like Thoreau or John Muir or David Brower. There's something special here. It sings to you, and we sing in this form. And we all made it clear that evening that we would stop the development. And I, with my family responsibilities, with my professional responsibilities, I would have gladly sat down in front of a bulldozer to protect this area. I would have gone to jail. And hundreds of other people said the same thing. This is too precious for too many people.